What's up, guys? Jose and Jeff here at Wire Ninjas, and we're here in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, and we have a little special treat for you. We're gonna do an unboxing of ISP equipment, and this is Verizon equipment. I'm not sure if Verizon's in your area, but they cover a lot of the Northeast, so this may be very helpful to you. We're gonna unbox a few things. It's gonna be a router, a cable box, as well as a secondary box. So let's go take a look. All right, gang, so we're going to get into this Verizon equipment. This is Internet Service Provider or ISP equipment. You could also call it cable company equipment. Now, in our area, we have Verizon, we have Comcast, and we also have Optimum Spectrum. So those are the three ISPs we have. Not sure what area you're in, but I know Verizon covers a lot of the country and most of the Northeast. So Verizon is probably the best in this area, speed-wise and equipment-wise. They have really nice boxes, really nice remotes, really good service, high quality and high speed. They also do a lot of work for businesses too. So today what we have for you is the newest Verizon FIOS 1 TV box. This is a cable box and DVR. And then we also have the brand new white tower, the FIOS router, and then the FIOS TV 1 Mini. So generally speaking, a lot of these cable companies work in this fashion. So you have one main box and then you have like a jumper box. So this box needs to be plugged in for that box to work, most likely. It does vary in different areas, but it also does vary per ISP. So I also want to show you guys what we're replacing. So this is Verizon's legacy router. This thing has been out for, dude, I swear since we were kids. It's been a while. This black, I call it the shark fin router. And the new one is much better. Also, the big difference here is this thing's definitely limited. This thing's limited to like 2, maybe 300 megs, whereas this thing can support a full gig, hardwired as well as wireless connection. And this is our legacy box too. This thing's a little bit newer than the router, but it's still pretty old in the sense of the technology. It still uses an IR remote, and it doesn't have the most advanced menus and DVR system on it. So we're gonna go ahead and do an upgrade at this home, but right now we wanna do an unboxing for you guys, as well as show you what ports that are on this equipment, what they're used for, and how you connect them. All right, so we're gonna start with the router. Let's get this thing unboxed. Let's take a look at it. So you have the initial sleeve. Sleeve comes off. There you go. And then let's flip it. I guess it came backwards, the sleeve. So this is FIOS router. And then we have a pull tab, I believe. Oh no, it's just a setup guide. Let's see what's inside there. This would be your setup guide. Oh, look at this. So they're doing our job for us. There it goes. I don't have to film anything. Let's see. So setup guide, connect your cables, connect the coax cable from the coax port in your router to the coax outlet. Connect the Ethernet cable from your router's WAN port, that's the wide area network port, to an Ethernet outlet. Required for speeds greater than 100 megs. I think it should be noted that this newer equipment and the way it works with Verizon in particular is somewhat similar to the old DSL network. So like, you take a coax, you need that. That's for video distribution as well as internet traffic or data. But also you need the WAN, the WAN port. So basically these two ports work together to give you a full gig speed, and that's what's going on. So you cannot use this equipment with one or the other. It has to be both. Otherwise you'll never get the full potential of the speed. So basically, you're going to connect your cables, your coax, and your WAN, and then you also need power. It's going to take about 10 minutes to power up completely. Move on when the light turns solid white. And after that, there's going to be a little bit of configuration. Activate your router by opening a web browser on your computer and following the prompts. That's going to be the configuration phase. We'll take you through that as well. But let's get this thing unboxed. All right. So let's get started. Let's see what it says. Follow step-by-step instructions. Activate.verizon.com or scan the QR code. Set up the devices in the following order: router, then Wi-Fi extender. We don't have an extender today. The extenders do look just like this. It's the same exact tower. It's just configured a little bit differently. What's inside there? Should be cables. See, flip it up. Yep, exactly. We have one power cable, right? Let's take it out of the bag. So as you can see, it's a power brick on one end, which is going to be a step-down transformer, 120 down to probably around 12 volts. And the other end plugs into the router itself. Let's see what else we have. We're probably going to have an Ethernet cable, or maybe 2 Ethernet cables if we're lucky, and maybe a coax. So 1 Ethernet cable, decent amount of length there. They didn't totally cheap out on us. And that's about it. So we'll get rid of that. Let's pull out the router. So that's your router. A little extra packaging there. Protective cardboard. 2X. And then we have a plastic bag to protect against dust during shipping. Let's pull out the tower. So let's get a good look at this thing. So they're talking about the white light. When that goes, you know, after this thing's fully configured, 10 minutes, the white light will go solid. That's this ring. It's going to light up white. And then let's get a look at these ports here. So port-wise, you have 4 LAN Ethernet ports. This is going to give you your hardwired internet. Coming out of here, this is where you're going to want to actually connect your devices, such as your TV, computer, or distribute it to a switch, which then redistributes throughout the home onto the wall ports. USB 3.0. Now, I'm not sure what this is used for, but being that it's a router, I imagine that you could plug in a network-attached storage directly to this. And then we have the WAN. So that's the wide area network. This is the actual internet. So on Verizon equipment, they have what's called an ONT. So from the actual pole outside, you're going to get a fiber line coming in from the pole. They're going to run a fiber to your home, to a little panel outside your home or in the basement, mudroom, or near the electrical panel most likely. And there's a little box there, a black box called an ONT from Verizon. And what that does is it converts the fiber into coax and Ethernet or CAT cable, and the port on that box is also going to be called WAN. So fiber comes in, gets converted via the ONT into WAN and coax. From there, you distribute to the actual router. And from the router, this is why you need a router. The router is also a gateway in this configuration, because a gateway is going to actually take a WAN and then spit out, you know, LAN ports. So power, coax, WAN, USB, and then 4 LAN ports. LAN's your local area network. That's what all the that's your actual network in your home that your devices are going to communicate to, and the router is basically the gateway or the gatekeeper, which then communicates to the wide area network or the actual internet. And then you have a small reset button in case things go askew. Alright, so next in the series would be the FIOS TV1 Mini. Let's actually do the big box first. They're pretty much going to be the same, but let's take a look. I could be mistaken. So FIOS TV1, this is the bigger box from FIOS. Slides off, very similar, it's like a sleeve. So you get your sleeve off, it's nice and tight. Okay, sleeves off. And we should lip up the box. It's got a little lip on it. Yep, very cool. Yep, lip it out. Yep, it unhinges. Yep. And then again unhinges. Look at that, you're presented with this beautiful little box. The box makes it look a lot bigger than it is. So this is from Aris. Very common manufacturer of this equipment. Aris, Motorola, you're going to see, and even Optimum, you're going to see Samsung. So there's 2 status lights on the front. I believe this is an IR input, but this box, or these newer boxes, are RF, so you could use the remotes like floors away. It's really cool. Let's take a look at the back of this thing. So for the back, you have the coaxial in. Verizon equipment can be configured wirelessly. It's always preferred to have a hardwired connection so that the video stream is, you know, flawless, seamless, it doesn't buffer, and you get the highest quality streams. So here you have a video out and audio out. This is for older TV panels. If you don't have a newer panel, you're going to be using these RCAs to get the audio and video stream to the television itself. Subsequently, you can also wire this to an AVR or an external audio device. Same thing for the optical. The optical can go directly to an external audio device if you have a more advanced setup. Now for newer panels, you're going to use the HDMI port. HDMI carries high definition audio and video to the TV, so it is preferred port. And if you have newer equipment, definitely go HDMI straight to the TV, or go HDMI to your AVR and then HDMI monitor out back to the TV. USB, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure what it's here for on this device. IR extender, that's pretty cool. So you can extend IR circuits using this box. Not common, but It would definitely be coming in a more advanced configuration with automation involved, like Crestron or Savant systems, stuff like that. It's really nice to have this on there, actually. And then you have an Ethernet port. These boxes, again, so you can do wireless connection to the box, you can do coax, but you can also do Ethernet nowadays, which is really nice because if you don't have coax and you have CAT, use the CAT. And then finally power and a power status light. So that is the FIOS 1 box. Yeah, FIOS TV 1. More packaging. They always give you a coaxial patch. This is nice. If you don't know how to make your own cables, they at least provide it for you. Sometimes they provide a splitter, which is nice, but it doesn't seem like that's the case today. You have a remote. I happen to really like their remotes and their menus and stuff like that. The remote works really well. The voice features and functions work really well. The voice search, really cool, nice, spiffy, it's clean. They seem to last forever too. They're high quality, these remotes. You know, they take a lot of abuse day in and day out being used, especially if you have kids. Kids like to ruin the remote controls for some reason. Ruin and or lose. But yeah, it's nice, it's robust, you can feel, and the buttons last a long time. That's one thing I must say, like this equipment, especially the older equipment, like that box is really dated, but these things really do last a long time. They provide you an HDMI cable as well, which you can use if it meets your criteria for length. And then you have the power block or brick and the cable. So these two are separate. So it's very common for cheaper devices or cheaper manufactured devices to have an external power brick. It's just a more cost-effective way to manufacture this thing. It's kind of annoying though if you're mounting this in a particular place or trying to mount it behind a TV. So do note that these boxes do have these external power bricks. It can get in your way depending on the location of your box. So now finally we have the FIOS TV 1 Mini. Now the good thing about this box is it's pretty small, which is great for, again, if you have a very particular mounting location, this box is going to be ideal. So very cool. You're doing a good job, Jeff, helping me out in my videos. Yeah, look at this thing. See, this thing is the best thing about this is it's tiny. It's about the size of a hand. And my hand's not too long, but it's definitely, you know, okay. It's about the size of a hand. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be all along the same lines. You have your two status lights. It's basically a little mini clone. You have your input there for data transmission or IR. On the back, you have a coax in, a CAT or Ethernet in, IR extender, HDMI, AV out. So this has all the same ports, but they're a little bit condensed in the sense that the AV out goes to a little headphone jack, and that's a special headphone jack. It's actually going to be a 3 terminals inside. So this cable, as you can see, like I said, there's 3 terminals. So look at that, 1, 2, 3, and then ground, I guess. So there's actually 4 connections that this headphone jack is making to give you the 3 RCAs. You have to note that each of these RCAs is 2 wires. It's 2 conductors. The internal, the positive, and the external, the ground or the negative out here. So it really is 6 circuits in these 3 plugs. So again, it's all the same plugs. It's just a little bit condensed because if you need the AV, you plug in your little adapter and you're good to go there. Most likely you're going to be going HDMI nowadays. And then all the same stuff. It's actually the same remote, whichever box, the big box, little box, same remote. There's continuity there. Same power plug, different power brick. This one's a little bit smaller. It's probably a little bit lower voltage, but same technology in here, as well as the HDMI cable. I think they give you a 6-footer, 1.5 meters. Okay. So that's both boxes. That's the router. That's all the Verizon equipment. I think that about covers it. Let's get this stuff installed. All right, guys, that's a wrap on the Verizon unboxing video. So we unboxed a router and 2 Verizon boxes. Now, the equipment for any ISP is going to be very similar, especially the ports. The ports are all the same for the most part. It's coax, WAN, and LAN you have to be concerned with. If you're installing your own equipment, this video should have been helpful to you. It doesn't hurt to do additional research on this stuff. look into basic networking, look into coaxial networks. It's good to know as a homeowner, you should have a little bit of understanding of a lot of this, some of these networks, their uses, their functions, their connections. I'm not saying go as far as terminations, but it's nice to have a light knowledge of this stuff. So if anything goes wrong or you do get new equipment, you can install it yourself. You don't need a professional's help. But hey, if you need us, give us a shout, call or click anytime. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.